we, the panel, find you guilty of being viewers. Proceed through the break for sentencing.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
We are here. We are ready.
We are back. We are the jury of tonight's episode.
Yes! In that tone. Hello, everyone, and welcome to AfterBuzz TV's coverage of Gotham, Season 5, Episode 9. I'm your host, Steve Kaufmann. Zach Peter is on special assignment elsewhere.
Zach Peter's still not here. I don't know how I feel about this. I feel some sort of loneliness, but here we are.
We sent him to a precinct to record a wedding. He said he was going to report back. He didn't tell us.
He didn't tell us.
We have no segment to air, but he is out on special assignment. Karla Beltran's here.
But I am here. Hey, what's up, guys? Happy Thursday.
Yes, you're here. You're ready to talk to us. Do you hear me in the microphone?
I don't hear you in the microphone.
So if it's just our main, then that's fine.
Yeah.
Then this episode had a lot.
This episode did have a lot. This was a good episode.
Mm-hmm. I enjoyed this episode a lot more than last week. So let's just jump in before we obviously get into the wedding. They ended on Barbara and Penguin debating on splitting up the underworld a month later. That essentially Penguin is coming out and just saying, Barbara, you made a play for the underworld and now it's hers. She made all the gangs ceasefire while Gordon was away. And that's where Gotham is right now, which is honestly looks to be more like a power vacuum than anything else. What's going on in the chat?
I'm sorry. Everybody's like saying if I'm happy. I am so happy, you guys. I can't even begin to express my happiness. I totally posted an Insta story about how happy I was by tonight's episode. Very satisfied. I wish Zach was here so I could be like, hey, do you know that I was right all along? Zach
actually texted us from assignment talking about how much he liked this episode. Yeah, I like to start where they end. And so I know we're doing a bit elsewhere. What does the chat have to say about the...
Well, I love that Ivan Soto says, Karla must be over the moon. Ivan, I am way on top and over the moon 3 times.
Great. Who else is in the chat? Just let us know what else we got going on.
Let's see. Spirit Hero 2 is talking about Siren. Thank you. I'm on there after this. And yeah, some people don't really like the wedding situation.
Really? Then let's just dive right into the wedding situation. I can understand why someone wouldn't care for the wedding situation. It's a little soapy. Mm-hmm. It's a little formulaic. It is a left turn. However, Lee has been endgame for a while, especially since those actors are actually, I believe, married in real life, if not like engaged and ready. Like, I'm all down with it. I'm ready for it. Sign me up. I'm subscribed. But I'm trying to get into the mind of someone who wouldn't be down for this ship.
Too bad we don't have Zach here today.
Would Zach have been? Zach would have given us such sass.
Zach was totally about like Barbara being endgame for Jim, which totally that was his endgame for me. It's always been Lee and Gordon. But one of the things that we were talking about before the show started is that we were very surprised how nobody got shot. Nobody got injured during this wedding. The wedding actually happened. I actually was very tuned in, and I was honestly waiting for Lee to be like shot in the back. I thought that something was going to happen. Either Harvey or Lee or Bane was going to come in.
That would have been a perfect time for Bane to show up.
Really good.
Because that character has such a background with Jim, and then like that would give such stakes moving forward. I'm sure they're going to do a great job with Bane in the coming weeks.
Especially because we're gone for we're not here next week.
We're not here next week, and then the week after it's going to be I Am Bane. That's the episode title. We know it's going to be all about an actual
we get 3 final episodes.
Yes, but we'll get one final episode and then 2 episodes before that. That'll also be. I'm sorry, I could not let you slide with that one. We get one.
No, the show said it itself. There were like 3 final episodes. They're the last 3. They count.
I am the last 3 episodes, the final 3 episodes, but there's only one.
There's one final.
There's one final episode.
Okay.
Words, y'all. I'm sorry, not sorry.
But it would have been great for this episode to have ended with Bane kind of just coming in the middle of the wedding. That's Gotham. Gotham doesn't end with a happy wedding.
I think that's what people are gonna be upset. I think that's what people are upset about right now is that it just ended with a happy wedding.
Yeah.
But at the same time, with Gordon going through everything he went through while in a coma and probably legally dead at some point, like his meter was at 0 for like a good minute. He had like a near-death experience that changed what he finds important and what will be important. That I don't know. I like the idea that he found a way for things to not die all around him. Mm-hmm. I guess. I don't know. Like the other way you could have gone, and if it were me as the showrunner, I would have shot it both ways just to fool everyone. Just so anyone in the room doesn't know which version you're gonna use. I'm just a weirdo like that. I assume every extra is just gonna DM the press on Twitter.
Probably.
And tell them what's about to happen.
Well, honestly, I was very satisfied by this scene. As you guys probably already know, I've been rooting for Jim and Lee since the beginning, and I think I'm happy that they got the wedding that they deserved to a certain extent, but I'm also a little bit upset for Gotham because I would have liked it to have a little twist to it in order for it to be the...
I mean, the city's already in shambles. My initial instinct was like, oh, the wedding just happened, and then I kind of felt like a masochist. Where I'm like, yeah, man, the wedding just happens. Sometimes Harry Potter saves the whole wizarding world.
This is true.
And then lives the rest of his life as just a dude.
Fair.
Like sometimes these things, like sometimes a happy thing can happen without a sad thing happening in the literal same day. I'd be down for either. Like if Bane had shown up, or if whichever
or what happened right now,
the 5th Joker at this point, whichever Joker we're getting, if that Joker showed up and killed Lee to give pretty clear cut stakes to Jim Gordon moving forward to save the city. But then again, the city's already in shambles. What more? The city's already in shambles. He has a child coming. He wants to build a better world for him and his. I don't think we actually need a wedding to get destroyed. A wedding that happened in a city that's already destroyed. I think that's where we are. I'm defending a thing to comments I've yet to actually hear. I'm just assuming. Okay, hear me out, y'all. This is what has happened. This is what is going down. How did you feel about the Jim Gordon dreamy sequency, near-deathy things?
Okay, the trial of Jim Gordon.
Yes, the literal trial of Jim Gordon, or the by nature figurative trial of Jim Gordon.
I could have done without it.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? I think this show, to me, is best when given complete carte blanche, like in this case, where they're just in someone's head, to be as insane as they can visually.
But I don't think it was as crazy as I thought it was going to be.
So a man being put on trial by himself and then be attending his own funeral with every villain he's ever encountered, including Pig, is there.
Why are you questioning my opinion?
I am investigating your opinion just to make sure that if you're not into it, you're not into it.
Yeah, so, okay, I think the biggest problem that I had with it was the fact that he was against himself and everything that he stood up for. I think that in this moment he should have had... You think about everything that you didn't do when you're in your last moments, so I think that they could have played it a little bit different. Like, okay, this is what you've been missing out on, rather than like, this is everything bad that you did. Because for him to get to the point where like, Lee, I need you, when at the end before he gets electrocuted, Lee drops the baby. Mm-hmm. You know, it was just kind of one of those scenes that for me it would have worked if it would have played a different way.
How do you mean which different way? That he ultimately learns the lesson very cleanly?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a fair opinion to have. Mm-hmm. I like the ambiguity of the mind, that's where he wound up. Like, that's what it looked like to us looking at him, but he knew exactly what that meant. Because it's his mind.
Yeah.
It's his mind we were visiting very briefly. Either way, let's get into Ivy. This panel, historically, not a huge fan of Ivy.
We're not a huge fan of Ivy, and we were kind of hoping that we wouldn't get to see Ivy again, only because, I don't know, Ivy isn't really that interesting anymore.
I think Ivy as a character in this show had always been a bit rocky, as was clear from the 2 recasts. Like, that's nothing against the performers that have played Ivy. I think Ivy, they've changed what they want Ivy to be so many times in this show, and it's evident all the way down to, oh, we want her older. Well, we want older and not the one we have.
Yeah.
And then, like, with a bit more, I don't want to say sex appeal, because they were both very attractive. Like, the 2 older Ivies were both very attractive women, but the other one they want to be a little more witty, I guess. I've always been at a loss for this second casting of Ivy to play this role that she's playing now, which is, this is the first time we've gotten those clear plants are better than humans stakes that have been very lost. But I don't know, this whole storyline for Ivy felt a little muddled. Also, you can get punched in the face you can literally get knocked out of it so quickly.
That doesn't, yeah.
I wanted a little more mechanics to, like, I don't know, it's perfume though, so maybe it's a pheromone. You can like, I'm overthinking it.
Yeah, and well, no, you're not overthinking it, because I expected the same thing. I was hoping that somehow they were going to have to get, like, some potion, and I thought that this was going to last longer than just 1 episode.
Ooh.
Yeah, I thought that this spell was going to move forward towards the next 3, or at least to the next 1. But I didn't think that they were going to get rid of Ivy so quickly. And now the chat is asking, like, is she dead, or is she going to save herself? Billie Jean Girl 24 says, so is Ivy dead, or is she saving herself?
She a witch doctor, though.
She is the witch, so I think she never dies.
Well, it's Gotham. No one actually dies, but I think...
We noticed that today because Jim Gordon, you guys... died and came back.
So, but I think she's shelved. I don't see where she'd fit in this new Gotham, that we only have 3 weeks to close up. So I guess if she's just on the other, like, she's alive for the playground they're setting up that we ultimately aren't going to see any more of after the 100th episode.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. Like, also, she got shot in the stomach. There was a scream at the screen moment with Lee where I was like, shoot her in the face.
Like, when she was gonna go for the head.
Well, I understand you're in close. You want to make sure your first shot counts.
Yeah.
But, like, then she backs up and grabs the adrenaline needle. She's gonna shoot her in the face. She's gonna drop that adrenaline needle anyway. Shoot her in the face. And I know it was like a 5 seconds momentary, like, you could write that off as she didn't know what to expect and what was happening and thought she killed her anyway. But, like, I don't know. The me that screams at the screen sometimes and wants perfection is just like, shoot her in the face. I need that beat. Maybe the gun jams. Maybe the gun only had 1 bullet. Any of that would have been good for me. But that's a nitpicky thing. That'll be the special segment of, like, Steve's nitpick. Steve's nitpick, otherwise known as, it's Gotham, Steve, get over it.
Yeah, I feel like the chat might be agreeing with you a little bit.
About shoot her in the face?
Or at least why she only got shot once.
Or that Ivy's probably gonna live. Because she was shot in the stomach, she was able to walk away.
Yeah.
And she like helped Selina walk. Right? No? That's sorry. We've lived decades, guys. We've lived decades in these 100 episodes. I'm trying to get it all. She helps Selina walk. Like, I think she can heal her own gut.
Yeah.
But also, while we're nitpicking her plan, was her plan to also die so the plants can live? Or is she part plant that she'll live and everyone else will die?
She's part plant that she'll live.
She's part plant, so she'll live?
Well, she would be the caretaker of the plants.
But biology doesn't know that. Like, biology is senseless. If you release toxins in the air that kill humans. Chat, help me out here. What percent?
She's Poison Ivy.
But, like, what percent human and what percent plant is Poison Ivy? Has there been a college level study? I need to know. I'm just very curious, because if she's like 60% plant, 40% of her dies. which, like, her lungs, does she grow gills? Like, did she know all that would happen, or is she actually just another human entranced by the plants, similar to all the humans she then entranced? That it's just this weird meta voodoo thing. I have so many.
Steve, you have so many questions. I'm just trying to figure out how you come up with all of this in your head. I'm like, I just think she's Poison Ivy. She's part plant. She's part human. And if the plants were to take over the world, it would be because she would tell them to, because she is the queen.
No, I understand that. But if she releases toxins into Gotham that kill all the humans, and she has lungs and no gills, her lungs will cease to function.
But she made it. She made the toxin.
Did she make that? That was the Joker toxin in the lake. Was that her? I feel like that was Strange or something.
I think. Okay, then maybe I'm thinking about the spray.
No, the spray is what she uses to, like, entrance everyone else. I'm saying, like, the actual toxins in the lake. I don't think that was her at all. I think that was. I'm pretty sure that was Hugo Strange.
Wait, I thought it was Jeremiah.
It might have been Jeremiah. Jeremiah acting, but Jeremiah might have a chip from Hugo Strange. I just don't want to be wrong on this one. No, you're right. It's definitely Jeremiah, because he's an agent. They never cut his head open. We don't know if he didn't have a chip or not.
This is true.
I'm doubling down. Do you want to get into Bruce and Selina?
Before we get into Bruce and Selina, you guys, we just want to take a brief minute to say thank you for making us the ESPN of TV Talk. For us to continue to grow, we could use your help, though. If you're on YouTube right now, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. And if you're on on iTunes, please give us a 5-star rating. But no matter where you are, leave us a comment so you can get involved in the conversation. Being a part of AfterBuzz TV has meant so much to all of us, and we truly appreciate you supporting us and doing what we love. Don't forget to tell your friends and keep enjoying our shows.
Also, if it sounds counterintuitive, I don't care. But if you're on iTunes, go ahead and like the video. And if you're on YouTube, go ahead and rate us on iTunes. Do that. Do what Karla said first, but then also do that. Help us out. Raise our presence. It'll help us. It'll help you.
Spirit Hero 2, he says that he cannot believe that the Riddler wasn't here in this episode, and I agree.
Other than the dream sequence playing the piano.
Yeah, but that's...
I know, but, like, you're right that he wouldn't have been invited to that wedding.
No.
He's
Oh my gosh, we didn't get to see his reaction to the wedding.
Or, like, his reaction to the news, because we cut straight to Penguin, and he's building a submarine by hand currently, so I think he's really busy. But you're right, I hope next week we get that brief somehow aside of, like, if it were Family Guy, it would be like a cutaway of, like, oh man, remember when we showed Riddler? And then they just cut away and, like, and then they cut back. I don't know.
I don't think we'll get that.
I have a jokey version of Gotham in mind.
I think he might be over it because at this point he's back with Penguin.
Is he though?
Yeah.
But, like, he doesn't love Penguin romantically.
Like, you can't say is he though, because he's building a submarine for him and Penguin and Barbara to escape. Mm-hmm. At this point he's not thinking about Lee, so he's clearly moved on.
I think their feelings were pretty strong. I think he's going to have a reaction. If you were going to build it out correctly, like if you were to really build it out, I would build it out in a way where he finds out in the least opportune time, like in the battlefield with the red sunglasses, like wearing the red sunglasses and the green suit to the nines. You what? That would be how I would, in my mind, that's how it would go. I understand that Penguin and Riddler are endgame, but he still has feelings for Lee. He's still going to have a very sassy reaction.
Speaking of feelings, do you want to talk about Victor Zsasz' feelings for Ivy?
First off, I love Victor Zsasz. Anything, like, if there were any character in Gotham for the last 5 years, I would want no more of a spinoff. I would want a spinoff more. It'd be Victor Zsasz.
Of course.
Victor Zsasz, like, God, just like a web series? Mm-hmm. Instagram stories? Like, what can we do? What kind of Victor Zsasz IP can, like, how much is the Victor Zsasz IP I can buy from Gotham? And, like, literally a vlog. I would watch a Victor Zsasz how to be a bounty hunter vlog, and it would be hysterical and great and probably make me cry.
Okay, I have to say, when he was saying that he was talking for somebody and he said his lips were sealed, I completely, immediately thought about Sophia Falcone.
Really?
Yes. I thought that this was going to be her comeback. I thought that if this was the time for her to come back, it would be this one, for her to be like, oh, I wanted to kill Jim Gordon, you know? Because I couldn't think of anybody else who...
I thought Barbara.
No, I didn't think of Barbara at all.
Barbara wanted him out of the way so she could just have that baby without him trying to be involved.
Yeah, but she wouldn't go to the extent to kill Jim. No.
She also orchestrated the situation where Jim would come in there to then get shot by would come into a room with a bunch of criminals to then get shot by another criminal. If you were to plan it, it didn't happen, so I don't know how much time we should spend on it.
Yeah.
But when he said I work for someone else, aside from the fact that he was acting weird, in my mind, like if it's just Victor Zsasz is already weird, so if this is just pure Zsasz, I
feel
think
like Barbara before Baby might have done that. Barbara with Baby, there's no way. Barbara
Really?
with Baby couldn't even kill Penguin when she had him in front of him. And now she's planning an escape with Penguin, the person who she was very upset at because he killed Tabitha. So for now, I think that Barbara with Baby, I don't think of her being capable of doing anything like that.
I think she's absolutely capable because it's only about the baby, not about the father, not about Gotham. Like, if she could rule, like, she's currently putting eggs in both baskets, both the submarine basket and the underworld basket. If she can rule the underworld of a city that's not a part of a state or a country, she would do that. But she's also helping them build a submarine to get out of said city. She's just playing both sides.
She's going to leave.
She's playing both sides of that coin. She may not necessarily get in that submarine.
Maybe.
I think what we know from that flash forward is that whatever war goes down in Gotham, she's not a part of. Mm-hmm. She may be somewhere with a baby, probably in a submarine. Probably in a totally well-built, not gonna sink submarine.
At least we would hope.
Speaking of hope, Bruce and Selina.
They have hope.
Endgame is here, y'all.
Yeah.
It's there. I enjoyed this.
I was very happy. I like that they had their first... Is it technically their first date?
No, they were at like a gala in season 1. Okay. Like they've definitely gone on dates.
They've gone on dates, but this is the first one where like they officially sat down and had dinner together.
Perhaps.
Yeah. I liked it. I was here for it.
I ship them. That was always a ship. That was never not a ship. Like Bruce and anyone else.
I would hope so.
Bruce and anyone else was not a ship, just by definition. I'm like, no, it's Bruce and Selina, or Bruce brooding and alone. Those are the only two ships. Yes, brooding and alone as a partner.
I like that. Well, I actually really liked Alfred's and Lucius, their reaction when they saw Bruce and Selina at the end.
That was cute.
Yeah. They were like, also, oh, love is in the air.
Also, Lucius is like a very understated character, this whole thing. Like, because he acts as both like flair and flavor, but also as so much exposition. Of like, no, this is how this happens. This is how everything happens in this world. Also, that's funny. Like Lucius really checks all the boxes for me. Alfred, obviously, we all know Alfred's badass. Do you have anything?
Okay, yeah. I think the official hashtag for Zsasz and Ivy Pepper is Zapper.
I don't like it, y'all.
Yeah, I keep seeing everybody put Zapper. Or I keep seeing that.
ZS Apper?
Yeah. ZSAPER. Because it's Ivy Pepper. Zapper. It's Ivy.
Zsasz? I think it's Zsasz, y'all. What does the official Twitter say?
I haven't checked.
I don't know. I think I don't know. But is he out of it?
My gosh. Ivan Soda just pointed out in the chat that he said, do you find it weird that Bruce and Selina wear their superhero suits literally everywhere? I had not noticed that.
I noticed it in this wedding scene that she was literally wearing her claws to the wedding.
I didn't notice that.
She when she reached in to kiss him, like she actually had the claws on her already. And she hasn't had Lucius Fox help her get retractable claws. Like those would be more functional. You know, Lucius could help. That's just what I think. So she didn't have that. Her claws were out at a wedding. which
there you
checks
go.
out. But then you're right, Bruce also is ready to go at all times. They live in a city in shambles, though. That makes sense. I would wear my super suit at all times.
Yeah.
If I lived in a city in shambles.
Me too. Well, Eric Olin from the chat says that it's just him, like the Sasper or Sasper. The hashtag Sasper is like one that he came up with. But I like it. I love Zaz. And I think him in love with Ivy Pepper was probably one of my favorite things from this episode. Just how he's a really good actor.
He is a really, really good actor. I like everything he's ever done on this series. I think, did we cover everything?
I think so. Except for the part where Alfred talks about Bruce and being his father. His fatherly figure.
Yes. I think that's the first time we've heard Alfred make such a declaration in this show of just very much, I've had to be his father, and it's been rough and but I'm doing it.
And he also talks about the special parts of being his fatherly figure because he never thought that he would have his own child, and now they say there's a saying that says that a father is more than one who kind of raises a child, not necessarily.
Well, yeah.
Who?
Sires.
Yeah.
Sires a child versus raises a child. Like Alfred is for sure raising Lil Wayne.
Yeah.
To become Batman in this universe.
Which is very exciting.
Speaking of Lil Wayne becoming Batman in this universe, I'm pretty sure it's time for predictions.
I'm pretty sure. We don't have a special segment for today because there wasn't a character.
Your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
All right. Do you think Barbara winds up out of Gotham before the Flash Forward war?
Before I answer your question, you guys, if you guys have some predictions, please send them to me via the chat. I will go ahead and read them before we close out.
Yes.
I don't think Barbara exists after, at the end.
Really?
I think she's out.
You think she's out of Gotham completely with a baby?
I don't know if she took the baby.
She left the baby in Gotham with Lee and...
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I don't think she leaves the baby. Maybe she does.
Do you think Gordon and Lee take a baby from Barbara?
No.
Okay. That's important. That's a lot. That is a jump. I don't know if we have enough weeks to do that. It's Gotham, I know.
It's Gotham. But I feel like Barbara, I don't know, because in the beginning I kind of felt like maybe Barbara won't feel like she's ready to be a mom. And not that she would leave her child behind, but she would be like, oh, well, I want somebody to take good care of my kid. But there's also been predictions that Barbara is going to pass while she's giving birth. And then I don't see the baby not being with Gordon and Lee. So that's the only thing.
That's fair. But you don't think they're going to snatch a baby. So your prediction is Barbara dies giving birth, and then Gordon, the father, takes the baby, and then Lee and then they just raise it as their own. That's a fair prediction.
Yeah.
I could see Lee dying in the next 3 weeks.
Why?
Why not? It's Gotham. It's Gotham. I think
that's true. I saw Lee dying tonight during her wedding, so I think Lee dying in the next 3 weeks is not too bad.
It would have the same emotional resonance. Like someone in that in those three, I don't think we're gonna have a Gordonless.
And then Zach can get his happy ending with Barbara and Jim.
That would be a sassy ending for sure. But okay, we talked about Gordon. We talked about Lee. Bruce and Selina, are they happily ever after in 3 weeks?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
No, she's a villain,
happily
though.
after right now. Yeah, but it's fine.
Okay, I'm gonna stand out on this island right now. By the end of the 100th episode, Selina is not by his side.
What?
Selina Kyle is Catwoman. Bruce becomes Batman. Catwoman is a villain to Batman. They're not going to be together. By the end of the 100th episode, mark my words, she will turn. She will turn. It'll make him brooding and alone. He will be brooding and alone. He'll know nothing but that cape, and he'll have to chase her in hopefully a crime-restored Gotham. That's another question. Do we think we get a crime-restored Gotham in the next 3 weeks? Or sorry, a law and order, a law-restored Gotham, like a Reformation Gotham is a part of a city and a country, or as a city inside a state and a country again.
Yeah, at the end.
So you think that absolutely happens at the end?
Yes.
But it's still a rampant... Violence will be so rampant that Bruce Wayne will have to be Batman.
Basically.
And Selina will be one of the villains. In my world. In my view...
Is Selina one of the villains, though? Selina is technically supposed to... Catwoman is supposed to be somebody who steals. Mm-hmm. Which, yeah, is sad. But
no,
she's not...
If he becomes Batman, she becomes Catwoman.
That's true.
There's no...
I'm just trying to find a way around it.
There's no way around this. That's how he becomes brooding and alone. Do we have anything fun in the chat? Cool.
I'm trying to read some of these because there's like a couple.
Penguin, Riddler, did they both survive?
Yes.
Both
They're fighting at the end.
True, but I'm saying, well, eventually the end isn't the end. Like that end.
Yeah.
That end will probably be midway through the very final episode.
Probably like the second. I actually think that that's going to happen within like the second final episode.
I think one of them has to die. I don't know how. I don't know when, but I feel like Penguin will live because he's actually Penguin, whereas Nigma will die.
I like this prediction.
Go for it.
Frank S. in the chat says, I think Barbara gets killed and asks Gordon to raise the baby as she dies.
Okay. Honestly, I could see Barbara not even dying and realizing that that baby might be better off with
That's
Lee
what I was trying to say earlier, but I didn't know how to say it without it sounding like she's abandoning her baby.
I think one of that, like, I think she realizes that a life of crime is the life for her, but not the life for a child, so she gives the child to the father. I could see that being an ending too. I think her dying is cleaner.
Yeah, and Billie Jean Girl 24 says that Barbara is probably gonna do something heroic or sacrifice herself.
That also feels. Mm-hmm. Do you have any predictions at large or anything from the chat before we head on out of here?
Well, Ivan Soda says that Bane breaks Alfred's back next week.
Yes, he does.
Or in 2 weeks.
Next time.
Oh my gosh. I love Alfred. I don't want to see anything happen to him.
So do you think we get a paralyzed Alfred?
No.
A wheelchair Alfred?
No. I think we'll unfortunately have to see Ivy again.
An Alfred with a cane?
No.
Okay. But you think Ivy as a witch doctor can somehow turn to help humanity? Because that would be the
Selina.
But she that was still part of her evil plan of like having the plants help the plants above all else.
Yeah.
Do you think that she's going to, in wrestling terms, turn face enough that she's going to help humanity? Help, like, let's say Alfred, who can't walk after a fight with Bane, like she's going to help Alfred walk?
Yes.
Okay.
I believe in Ivy.
You believe in Ivy?
I believe in Ivy now.
I don't want to see her.
Now that she got shot.
I don't want to see her anymore. So I'd rather.
Okay, he can't be paralyzed. He has to somehow walk again. Maybe he does get a cane, or maybe he gets help from the witch doctor.
Fair. I'm of record that there should have just been a whole other witch doctor. But whatever. Whatever. We got Ivy. She was fine. Do you have anything else before we head on out of here? Mm-mm. I think I actually laid some bombshells early on, so I think we're good. Where can the people find you in the meantime?
You guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I am your host, Karla Beltran. You can follow me on Instagram at I am Karla Beltran, or on Twitter at Karla Beltran with an R at the end.
And I'm Steve Kaufmann. You can find me on Twitter almost exclusively at Steve Kaufmann. That is KAUFMANN. I run a lot of YouTube pages for a lot of good wrestlers, folks. So if I tweet the link, go ahead and support them by supporting me. For Karla Beltran, I'm Steve Kaufmann. We will see you in 2 weeks.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.